Hello and welcome to Hedgewitch Hearthcraft. I'm Caitlin Rhiannon. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I'm going to be using tarot cards and oracle cards to give us an idea of the energy for the week of April 11th to 17th, and to give us some advice on how to navigate throughout the energy of the week to come. I'm going to be pulling 2 cards for every sign of the Western Zodiac. This doesn't have to stay limited to your sun sign. You can apply it to any of the assignments in your chart. The first card that I pull will be from the Babylonian Tarot, which will give us our prediction for the week. And the second card that I pull will be from the Oracle of Visions, and this will give us our advice on how to navigate throughout or within the prediction. At the very end, I will also be pulling a Universal Manifestation card just to give us sort of an idea of how to focus or navigate, direct our energies throughout the week to come. So make sure that if you are skipping around to the cards that are pulled for your sign or your signs, that you are also jumping to the very end. There are timestamps in the description so that you can make all of that jumping around a whole lot easier on yourself. Now, since it is Aries season, let's go ahead and get started with our lovely Aries. Aries, your tarot card for the week of April 11th to 17th, 2021. Is the Cherub of Wands reversed. And now this is the sort of an elemental spirit of the deck. So it's reversed, meaning that its element is also totally out of balance or out of whack. Wands is the fire element, Aries, and fire is your element, or the Aries element. So you might be feeling a little disconnected from yourself, and your passion is inconsistent. There's this sense of not knowing what you want, not knowing where your needs are, where your thrills are anymore. Nothing is really setting your soul on fire in a good way. And when you do feel on fire, it's probably more aligned with rage and frustration and just discomfort, unhappiness. There's this sense of imbalance and almost like a need to move, to drive yourself forward, even though you don't know where that is right now. And it could end up making yourself feel like you've lost your way. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is card number 41, which asks that you pay attention to your layers. This is a reminder that you are multifaceted, that there are different levels and different layers to your being, to your self, Aries, and that the version of you that is shown to different people is going to be different from person to person, including yourself. So it could be that you have put on so many layers of different versions of yourself that you are no longer connected to your most honest and genuine identity. So the advice for this week, as you are feeling out of balance and disconnected from your inner fire, is to sit down and try and pull your masks off. Try and go deeper, layer by layer, into yourself so that you can see your true self again. Taurus, your tarot card for the week of April 11th to 17th, is the Star. This is your guiding light, Taurus. You have this sense of enhanced clarity of vision. You're able to see the path ahead a little bit more clearly. And where you aren't able to see things, you're able to sense what needs to be done, either to illuminate the path, to move yourself forward away from the darkness, or to just sit within it and process until the sun rises again. There is this sense of connecting more to your intuition over this next week and listening a little bit easier to the messages that intuitive voice has to offer you right now. You're a bit less worried about where everything is going to lead you, because even if you can't see the end result, you're a little bit more connected to where you are in your present. The oracle card that comes along with this is card number 33, which just asks for a little bit more patience. This is the reminder that things are coming to you, that things are moving in a healthy, positive, and exciting direction. You are about to be receiving abundance, but there is sometimes a need to wait for things to come to you. You have done most of the work already, Taurus. You have put the effort in, you have taken the steps forward, and now the star is either guiding you to continue moving forward or to wait. And if the message is the latter, if you're being asked to wait, then this advice is really reinforcing that need to just be patient. Even if you are moving, there's still that need for patience. Some things need to come to you rather than you going to them. Gemini, your tarot card for the week of April 11th to 17th, 2021, is the Three of Cups reversed. This is a frustrating one because the Three of Cups is supposed to be about happiness and excitement and emotional connections and sharing time with friends, and when it's reversed, there's just this sense of like, some things are good. That is almost impossible to deny, Gemini, but for the most part, things aren't what you want them to be. And you're feeling a little bit worn out because of it. And other people are probably expecting you to be present, expecting you to connect with them. There's this sense of social obligation, not necessarily going out and spending time with people, but talking to them, being there for them, being present. And you're not all wanting that right now, Gemini. You're kind of just wanting some time alone to reflect and sit with your feelings, or sit and avoid your feelings, but not so much to share them with other people. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is card number 31. And this one is about puzzles and deciphering them. So with this one, it's almost like you're being advised to listen to the hidden messages. You don't have to talk to everyone. You don't have to talk to anyone right now, except for yourself and your intuitive voice. And going into your inner self and connecting to what's going on in there will help you to figure out what it is that you need to say to the people in your life. So before you unload all of your frustrations on the people who expect you to be there for them right now, maybe take a moment to go into yourself, have a conversation with yourself about what you need, and then bring it to them once you've processed a little bit. Cancer, your tarot card for the week of April 11th to 17th, 2021, is the Three of Cups. You are having a fairly good week as far as they go, Cancer, especially when it comes to your connections with other people. You are feeling a bit more open, not necessarily vulnerable, not necessarily opening up your heart on its deepest levels to the world as a whole, but you are connecting more to the people in your life, and you're a little bit more willing to share that heart center level energy that has been sitting within you for a little while now. It has gotten to the point that you feel like you have enough to be present in these other lives and be there for the people who need you right now. You're able to focus not only on your feelings, but on the world and on all of the good things that are moving and coming towards you and coming into your life right now. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is card number 26. And you are writing your own story, Cancer. This is sort of a threshold card. You are moving forward. And this is a reminder that you are constantly writing your own story. Why would you write yourself into a corner? Why would you write a chapter that makes you miserable if you have the choice? So over this next week, you have a little bit more choice, Cancer. So use it. Write your story, make it something good. And especially while you are going through this energy of the Three of Cups, this is about positive experience. So start shaping your future experiences into what you want them by connecting to these littler positive experiences now. Leo, your tarot card for the week of April 11th to 17th, 2021, is the Prince of Arrows reversed. So the arrows suit in this deck corresponds with the swords suit in a traditional or standard Rider-Waite tarot. And as such, these are the more harsh or conflicting energies in the deck. The reversed Prince of Arrows is essentially the reversed Knight of Swords. And your thoughts are kind of swirling in all of the worst places right now. There is a little energy of tension or even aggression, Leo. So over this next week, try to be a little cautious with how you're communicating. And when other people come to you, try not to assume that they are coming to attack. Try not to jump immediately to your own defense before words are even spoken, because that is how you end up hurting people who did not mean to hurt you first. The oracle card that comes along with this is card number 5. And you're being asked over this next week to identify how you can move forward. What steps can you take, Leo, to get yourself out of the life that you are feeling stuck in right now? This is a really positive energy of movement and potential and a fresh start. In some area of your life, this is not necessarily giving everything up and starting from ground zero everywhere in every area. But something needs to change, and you're being presented with an opportunity to move forward, to try something new. It might be scary, it might be intimidating, or even a little overwhelming at the potential of anything happening, but it's really advised that you try this. See what happens. You might like it. Virgo, your tarot card for the week of April 11th to 17th, 2021, is the reversed Two of Arrows. There is some conflict this week, especially when it comes to other people, the other people in your life, and communicating with them. That is the biggest thing here, is there is a struggle with getting feelings and words and thoughts across in the way that they are intended. What you say may be interpreted by somebody else as something completely different, and what somebody else says to you might come to you in a different way from how they are intending. And this creates just a sort of a discomfort and conflict and not seeing eye to eye. That's another big one, is you're just of different opinions. You're not getting along because you're in different places, different viewpoints, different moralities. And you're not lining up a lot right now with the people who are most predominantly in your focus. The oracle card that comes along with this is card number 14. And this one is asking that you try to find a creative way around this. I know that that's easier said than done, Virgo, but your creative skills, something in that area, can help you find a way to communicate. Either finding a whole new way to communicate what's going on with you to the people who matter through music, through art, through these creative energies, or just connecting to yourself and getting the feelings out so that you don't need to hold on to them anymore. Especially if you are having these communication issues and this conflict with other people, it can feel very isolating. So take time to yourself this week, especially if you need to recharge. Connect to your creative self and see what that gives back to you. Libra, your tarot card for the week of April 11th to 17th, is the Wheel. Things are moving. Things may not be moving in the way that you expect them to, but they are moving in the way that they need to. This can be both very, very positive and exciting and a little frustrating. For the most part, because this is an upright card, this is a positive message. Things are going in the way that is best for you. But like I said, when it happens in that moment, it might not be easy to see how this is really benefiting you. If very drastic example, and this may not apply to you specifically, but for example, losing your job can be absolutely devastating, but it can also put you into a position of finding something better, finding something more fulfilling that you might not have looked for or been open to finding if you had still been in that same job that is giving you what you maybe some of what you need, but not actually fulfilling you. So there is movement this week. Try to not panic if things are taking you in a direction that you didn't expect or that you had hoped you would avoid, because maybe going through this way will get you something even better than what you had anticipated going the way that you had planned. The oracle card that comes along with this is card number 28. And this one is about communication. So if people are reaching out to you, make sure that you are open to communicating back to them. and vice versa. Be open to communication, Libra. You don't have to do all of this alone, and especially if you do start to panic, start to feel worried, it can help a lot to have a sounding board, not necessarily to tell you that everything is going to be okay, but to talk with you as you come to that conclusion for yourself. Scorpio, your tarot card for the week of April 11th to 17th, 2021 is the Five of Cups. Fives are challenges. This is emotional. So for you, Scorpio, there is a sense of needing to let go of something, whether that is by choice or because it is taken from you. You are experiencing some sort of emotional purge or release. Like I said, this might not be by choice. This might be something that is just happening to you. Ultimately, this is for the best. This is something that has already gone stale or stagnant or was never meant for you in the first place. But that doesn't make it any easier. There is grief over this next week, I am sorry to say, Scorpio. There is a sense of recognizing what is no longer yours to hold. The oracle card that comes along with this is card number 15, which is a little ironically is also a mourning card. This is asking that you release, let go of any words that are still lingering. If you need to have one last conversation, have it. If that means writing it down so that you are having a one-sided conversation and sending the message off to the person or entity in question, and burning the letter or burying it or what have you, so be it. Do what you need to do to get your feelings out rather than keeping them locked up inside to continue stagnating and poisoning you from the inside out. Sagittarius, your tarot card for the week of April 11th to 17th, 2021 is the Tower. So this is a fun one, bringing chaos and disruption and destruction and upheaval and all sorts of fun, uncomfortable things happening around you, Sagittarius. Things are probably not going the way that you want them to right now. Limitations are being presented in certain areas, and in other areas of your life, it all seems to be just falling apart. Things that you have built up are crumbling to the ground. Relationships are unsteady. Things just feel unstable with this Tower energy. This is destructive and deconstructive. So there's a sense of walls coming down. Ultimately, the Tower card is almost always a good thing. It breaks down barriers that you have built up for yourself, structures in your life that aren't actually giving you what you want or what you need or aren't actually that good for you. But when it does happen, it's not comfortable. It's almost always uncomfortable because it's like you are being yanked up out of your life and thrown up into the air in a direction you don't know so that you can land where you need to be, and you don't even know where that is. So it's very confusing. It's very just upheaval. The oracle card that comes along with this is card number 41. And you're being asked over this next week, as things in your life seem to be falling apart and changing is I guess the easiest way to say it. But as things are undergoing all of this drastic change, you are changing too. And you're being given this opportunity to look within yourself and sort of get to know yourself again. So the advice for this week, Sagittarius, is to do that. To take off your mask or your masks, layer after layer after layer after layer, and get to know the person that you are underneath all of it, beneath everything that you have built, all of the other things in your life. You are not the structures in your life. You are the person who has built them, or you are the one within them, but they are not all that is you. So over this next week, get to know yourself a little bit better. Peel off the layers and see who is underneath. Capricorn, your tarot card for the week of April 11th to 20th, 2021 is the reversed 10 of Wands. You're freeing yourself a little bit from responsibilities that are either not yours to begin with or are no longer yours at this point. You are letting yourself let go of some of the work that just doesn't need to get done. The Ten of Wands, a lot of the time, is about obligation and feeling limited within your own boundaries because there is so much to do. Feeling weighed down and having a hard time moving forward because there is just so much to get done. You're so close, but there's so much that you can't cross that threshold. And now that it's reversed, it's like you are finding a way to set aside the things that can be set aside so that you can prioritize the really heavy tasks, get through them, and move on. And the moving on is kind of the emphasis of this week, is allowing yourself to set things aside so that you can prioritize everything else and the movement itself, and prioritize you rather than prioritizing just the work and the projects and the tasks. The oracle card that comes along with this is card number 29, and you are being asked to not fall too into temptation. Capricorn, try not to have so much fun not doing the work that you don't ever go back to it. These little tasks still need to get done. There are some things that don't, and they can be cast aside and forgotten about because they're not your responsibility anymore, or they never were. But there are still some things that, as you are prioritizing, they won't be a main priority, but they still need to be dealt with. So try to make sure that you're not burying everything and distracting yourself with the fun and the rewards when there is still those little bits of loose ends that need to be tied up. Aquarius, your tarot card for the week of April 11th to 17th, 2021, is the Five of Discs reversed. This is one of the more positive reversals. Fives are usually challenges or conflict, and because it's reversed, a lot of that gets a little bit easier this week. So especially where the material world, financial, work, your home, your physical body, where all of that is concerned, things are just smoothing out over this next week for you, Aquarius. So look for opportunities in these areas, especially when it comes to money and work and getting things done. There are people in your life or resources available that will help you, that want to help you. People out there actually want to see you succeed. I know that it's hard to believe sometimes, but they exist. And these people, they're there for you. And this week, you have this doorway that gives you the opportunity to receive help, to receive assistance or advice or reassurance and validation in order to build yourself up and get yourself out of the situation that might be, a little bit sticky, a little bit complicated. But there's help there for you, but you need to be the one to take it, Aquarius. It isn't simply going to be dropped in your lap. You need to walk through that door. Might be offered, but you need to say yes. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is card number 37. And this is a memories card. So over this next week, as you are doing this moving forward, and sort of like dealing with the situation that you might have been feeling stuck in or just not the best in, as things are starting to improve, you're being asked to do some looking back as well. Look at all of the people in your life who have led you to this point, including the different versions of yourself. You have been reincarnated so many different times in this one singular earthly incarnation that you can give yourself credit to the person that you used to be. Give credit to the person that you used to be while giving credit to the person that you are becoming. Over this next week, you're being asked to not only to lean on people, but to look at who you have leaned on in the past. This is that reminder that none of us are doing this alone. Pisces, so this one counts for me as well. Your tarot card for the week of April 11th to 17th, 2021 is the Princess of Cups. You're connecting a little bit more to your emotional self and understanding what is going on in your emotional self. It's like you are learning from the feelings that you are experiencing and learning how to communicate those feelings. This is also a communication card, expressing what is going on within you in a way that is a little bit more healthy, a little bit more clear, so that if you need help, Other people can know what it is that they need to do to help you. If you need alone time, you're less worried about other people, creeping in on your boundaries because you have found or are finding the way to communicate these things. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is card number 7, which is all about evolution. And it's like, over the next week, the advice is to continue growing, continue shifting, and as you are connecting to your emotional self, see what is different. See how that has changed from the version of you that you are coming out of and the versions of you that are way in your own past. Go back in your head a little bit and look at how much you have grown, Pisces. You are not the same person that you used to be. You are so much more evolved, so much more complex than what you might think you are or what other people have told you that you are. So don't let anybody invalidate you, especially as you are connecting to your feelings more. You can learn from them and continue to grow into your next highest self. At the end of my readings, I like to pull a card from my favorite manifestation, motivation, affirmation deck, the Super Attractor. So I have pulled one card for everyone who joins me for this video reading, just to give us an idea of what to carry within ourselves, how to focus our energy, what we can be doing for ourselves over this next week. Something to meditate on. The card that I have pulled for the collective says, I feel my way into faith one step at a time. I feel my way into faith one step at a time. So my interpretation of this card and what it is asking of me is allowing myself to connect to faith, belief, trust, leaning into divine energy. It has to be a feeling. I can't think my faith. I have to feel my faith. I have to trust my faith. I can't think that, because if it doesn't line up with my head and my heart and my gut, it's not all there. So the emphasis for me is feel. I feel my way into faith one step at a time. This is not something that happens all at once. This is not something that happens in one, great big explosion of divinity. That can happen. But a lot of the time it's much smaller explosions of divinity, multiples, one step at a time. Every day is a different day. Tomorrow is going to be different. Not necessarily better or worse or easier or harder, but different. And every day I need to find different ways to adapt to what is coming, to the way that the world is developing. So one step at a time. Just take one step at a time, one day at a time. Now, what this says to me might be a little bit different from what it says to you, because affirmations can be quite personal. So maybe my interpretation of this card is completely different from what it says to you. If that is the case, I would love to know your interpretation of this card down in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I hope that the readings in this video have been resonant and that they can provide a helpful, relevant compass to offer clarity, insight, guidance along your path, whatever it is that you need to get through this coming week. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment letting me know what you thought. What you thought of the cards that were pulled for your sign or signs, what you would like to see in the future. I have got some guided meditations, but I'm always interested in knowing what other kind of meditations you would like to see, what you'd like to see me do with cards, other witchy things. Like I said, make sure you're subscribed, because I'm always trying to add a little bit more to this, trying to figure out what to do, what to try something new, right? So, subscribe to my channel and try something new with me and see where this path is taking us. Anyway, thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a fantastic week. Be good to yourself.